Welcome to Touching the Edge. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Drake, and I'm really happy to be here today because we are focusing on courageous relaxation. And I just want to suggest that there's something really beautiful about a relaxed, confident relationship to life. There's something beautiful about it, almost so much so that it actually, for me, is almost romantic. I remember growing up, and I grew up in this time where romance was such a huge thing. There was all these romantic movies, romantic songs, and this idea that you were sort of supposed to be looking for your soulmate. It took me a long time to realize that romance is really the romance of getting to know and understand yourself. Understanding that you have an aesthetic to being you. You have a way of being that's artistic in its approach. And when you have that connection to what romance is for you, when you recognize what makes you unique and what makes you special, and really what adds to your enjoyment of life. For me, it's so multifaceted. I know for myself, all kinds of silly things. I love to hug trees. That's one of the elements of romance. There's something about hugging a tree. I want to suggest that trees are the best huggers. When you hug a tree, you can feel it, and it almost feels like it's embracing you as well. So that's part of my experience of romance. Another one for me is when I see people who are obviously in love. I like to ask them what their Genesis moment was. For me, the Genesis moment is when they met and when they came to understand that there was some kind of special connection. Like when something comes out of nothing. To me, that's a miraculous element, and that's why I call it a Genesis moment. And it's part of what is, for me, the romance of being alive, being in contact with that. And a final one, and not a final one, but just another example is, I love, and I grew up loving comic books and fantasy novels and all this stuff. And even though I don't really watch that stuff now, at least not the Marvel movies or comic books or whatever, at the same time, there's something about it that still stands out for me. I just remember like these elements like the Avengers, and I just I know it's silly, but I want to be in the Avengers, and I want I think my title would be like middle-aged man or something, and everyone has their different superpower, and of course we all wear those really tight-fitting suits, but mine doesn't fit the same way because I'm a 61-year-old man. And yet I want to tell you that there's something about being a 61-year-old man that's absolutely beautiful. And in recognizing it, I find that connection to the romance. By me loving myself and my body as it is, I'm accenting what I call a romantic life. Let me tell you what my superpower would be. My superpower would be I'm going to sit on the couch being calm and slightly optimistic. Doesn't that sound great? Being calm and slightly optimistic. Being the guy who's like, hey, I think things are going to work out. Don't you think it would be great to have someone around who really genuinely has that feeling? I know that we're going through a lot, but I think it's going to work out. That would be my superpower. What would be your romantic life? What's romance for you? What do you do that's particular to who you are that adds to a romantic life? What would be your superpower? Be aware that when you're in contact with the romance of your life, you are in step with your own process of courageous relaxation. There's something about you being aesthetically pleasing to your own self in the way that you live that's actually very relaxing. So how about you? What would be your superpower? What would be your path to courageous relaxation? What are you doing to find a way to make yourself feel more comfortable in the space that you're in? Recognizing that you can't hate your life and love yourself. We have to love our life in order to love ourselves. That means we have to find ways in which we find that we are winning, even in the midst of challenge. Anyway, let us know. Let us know about yourself. How are you stimulating courageous relaxation? What does romance mean for you? Please like these videos if you enjoyed them. Please subscribe and hit the notifications and let other people know about this because we are building a positive community. I'm going to ring the bell and I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. A romantic relationship to life means that you have a relationship to beauty. And when you have a relationship to beauty, you become beautiful. I bring my hands together and I bow to you. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.